What is up, everybody? It's your boy vs. TV today. So here we go again. Another day, another Sony fanboy or fangirl this time. I was talking about Xbox more than PlayStation. For some people, for some of these fanboys or fangirls of this company, they sure do like to talk about Xbox a lot. Xbox is like legit on their mind 24/7. Now, I had a previous video saying that this woman makes the most dumbest post I've ever seen of all the Sony fanboys in general. But yeah, I stick by that statement. This person just makes some of the most like wackiest posts I've ever seen out of all the videos of people I covered. They make the most insane statements ever. So the new statement for today is that Game Pass is a parasite in the video game industry. Okay. It is making believe that buying video games is bad to such an extent that most Xbox gamers don't buy games. Game Pass is ruining the video game industry. Change my mind, feel free to tell me why not. This statement is just so ridiculous. So the Game Pass is evil, is a parasite now. It's not like no rental services or streaming services that never existed before in the past, like Netflix or Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Paramount. It's fascinating how it's just a parasite. It's called words like parasites. When services like this exist everywhere in movies, music, gaming, not even just Game Pass. You even got like Ubisoft. Ubisoft has their own subscription service. PlayStation even has their own subscription service. PS Now, but you know, Game Pass is that's what's running the industry. Game Pass, okay. Then the whole notion that people on Xbox aren't buying video games. There are a lot of games, I don't know if she knows this, but there are a lot of games that's not on Game Pass, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Far Cry 6, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. A lot of games that came out recently that's not on Game Pass, but people have magically played these games on Xbox. So I wonder, how did they do that? I'm pretty sure they had to actually buy the game, not on Game Pass. And then when you do get Game Pass, you get to get discounts on games that are Game Pass if you want to keep those games in your collection. So this whole notion that Game Pass is just ruining the video game industry has been debunked numerous times. It's like Sarah Bond even did a presentation. You can say, hey, she works for Microsoft, but she even did a presentation, which I made a video about a while ago, maybe a few months ago, saying how people who get Game Pass, they're interested in trying more new games. They're buying more games because they're saving money. And there was another point as well too. I guess they play more games as well too. So I just don't get where this nonsense is coming from. It's been debunked numerous times. Developers came out and said they are okay with Game Pass. They are okay with Game Pass. It's like, I just don't get it. But another day they'll keep making these more just ridiculous statements about Xbox every single day at this point. It's like, do these guys even talk about PlayStation? Do they legit even talk about PlayStation at this point? About what games they're excited for PlayStation, because it's dry right now for exclusives. But, you know, at least make some posts about Horizon Forbidden West to like balance it out. But nope, just talk about Xbox 24/7 at this point. Outriders developer hasn't made a profit despite Xbox Game Pass launch. And they keep posting the same article that's been debunked. Like, apparently Outriders was solely just rad, and it was just solely dependent on Xbox, even when that game was on every platform except like the Switch. It was on PlayStation, it was on Xbox, it was on PC. But apparently Xbox was supposed to save this company. It was supposed to save this game, apparently. Like, what? And then you got a quote from Taiwan saying Game Pass isn't profitable yet. And then what is this a reference to? No one knows. There's like no context to this whatsoever. Just a random post. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I don't remember Blockbuster ruining cinema. Streaming almost killed cinema. I expect in the future theaters will slowly close down. In a way, kind of in a way, because who wants to... The movie... You want to know who ruined the movie theater industry? The people that attend the movie theater, attend movie theaters, ruin the movie theater industry, because it's like, why do all this stuff, get ready, travel to the theater, and then you gotta have a chance that your theater could be possibly ruined with people talking and just being a complete a-holes during the theater experience. So And like that's a whole different subject, but that's kind of not. Blockbuster didn't really kill the cinema industry or the streaming. It's a whole bunch of different factors. That's why the theater industry is where it is right now. Especially like COVID played a big part in it too. But there's a lot of factors into that, not just because you can rent a movie or stream it. So it's a different thing entirely. But continuing on, the only proof that Xbox gamers don't buy games are those goddamn physical sales numbers from the UK. The fact is, most Xbox gamers buy games digitally. I wager that Game Pass increases the game sales as it introduces you to more games and genres you wouldn't usually buy. That is true. With Game Pass, you get the shot stuff you usually don't play, and you probably end up buying the next game or that sequel if it's not on Game Pass. So, can you not talk about Xbox for 5 minutes? I think that's like an impossible challenge right there for these guys. Hell yeah, I love Game Pass. I hope it destroys everything. I hope people get anxiety and nightmares for not having to pay full price for every new IP that comes their way thanks to Microsoft. I hope it's the future of all platforms. Yeah, imagine complaining about a service that saves you money. Like I don't get that. How are you against a service that saves you money? Like, I don't understand it. I legit don't understand it. But you know, Sony charges you $70, $10 extra is not a parasite. That's not parasitic. That's parasitic to my wallet. They're literally leeching more money off my wallet for games that I don't feel that's even worth $70, to be honest. It's like the only game I might come close to pay $70 is God of War and Horizon Forbidden West. But that's just like, if there's nothing else out that entire month, I might pay $70, but I really don't want to. So I view Sony more of a problem at the end of the day with them charging me more money compared to Microsoft for Game Pass, to be honest. This narrative has been proven wrong so many times that you still say it. They still say it. It just doesn't make any sense at this point. I agree, renting is more important than ownership of a game. They consistently say it's free, but nothing is free in a service that you're paying monthly. Don't pay your bills and the game is locked. And that game is locked. Then she made a post about Square Enix, saying Square Enix has lost a huge amount of money on Marvel's Avengers. And what does that have to do with Microsoft? What does that have to do with Game Pass? Like, how are you relating to? How do you relate this to Game Pass? This was on PS Now as well. Did PS Now make the game flop as well too? By your logic, like, it doesn't make any sense. I've said it before. Game Pass on paper is a great idea. However, what incentive does a developer have to put 100% of their heart into a project when the publisher is going to give it away for free anyway? It's not free. They were paid for Game Pass. Game Pass is not a free service. I don't know why they keep saying that, but it's not free. Game Pass devalues developers' hard work and sacrifice. They are getting paid to have their game on Game Pass. I don't know why they can't grasp that, but they're getting paid for having the game on Game Pass. That's kind of like, I don't know. Have these people never used Netflix before? There are a lot of content that's not about Netflix. That's not made by Netflix on Netflix. So the people who made that content is getting paid for that content to be on Netflix for a certain amount of time. That's usually how this stuff goes. But apparently, it's like the people just freak out when it's Xbox doing it or Microsoft doing it. Apparently, I absolutely love Game Pass, and to be honest, it has been my gateway drug back to Xbox. It's actually caused me to get thirsty for previous Xbox exclusives or older games that aren't available on PlayStation. I bought a ton of OG Xbox 360 games since I bought an Xbox. So this person is saying he has bought plenty of games since using Game Pass, which is probably the story for most people. People are probably like, I don't see unless you're like an extremist where you're just only playing games on Game Pass, and that's probably like for a small kid, like a parent bought their kid Xbox Series S, and they just make them use Game Pass exclusively, then sure. But that's an extreme scenario right there. I doubt that nobody's just actually just not buying games outside of Game Pass, like or just outside of just using Game Pass. I mean, you can do it. You have that right to do it, but I just see that being a very rare instance right there. Don't worry, the Xbox business model doesn't work. It's like communism. In theory, it should work, but it doesn't. Comparing Game Pass and Xbox to communism now. Jeez. What are we doing here? Well, I have Game Pass and I buy more games than you do, but alright. Then why is Sony planning on doing something similar? Okay, so then it says, the industry literally didn't change at all. Not every gamer can afford to buy new games every time. It's good to have alternatives. Yeah, because options Apparently, options is a bad thing for these people. Like, if you don't want to use Game Pass, you don't have to. You can just buy the games like you usually do before past generations. No problem. You don't got to use the service you don't want to. But apparently, more options is bad now. Apparently, I thought we have less options is worse. But apparently, we got more options is bad now to these guys. I disagree. I play on Game Pass and I buy games, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. I'm a collector. I play on Game Pass and if I love that game, I'll buy it anyway. But I would love to see the number because all my friends have Game Pass and buy games. Yeah, especially when the games are on sale. Like when Xbox does their sales, like digital sales. I actually buy games that's on Game Pass. Like I can already play on Game Pass if it's a lot cheaper. So I just don't get the notion that people just using Game Pass, just no longer buying games anymore. That's just a dumb narrative at this point. Exactly, and this is why I hope that Sony, Nintendo, and the rest of the industry don't go down this path. I don't want to see console gaming turn into the same trash as iOS and Android gaming. Consoles have value, games have value. Support them, preserve them. Okay. So it's just fascinating how Game Pass is now just ruining the industry to these guys. Whatever. LOL, you have issues with blanket statements. I probably bought 2 to 3 times more games than you this year. And it's only $1 for the first month. Yeah. People keep going with the narrative that Game Pass is like $1. I've been seeing that a lot too. Like people playing this big AAA exclusive for $1. You get $1 like any other trial period for any subscription service. Almost every subscription service gives you a trial period for free, or you got to pay like a low cost, like $1 or something. Or if it's like an offer to get you back to that service for like $1 or like free. It's like, this is not an ongoing thing unless you have some type of loophole happen, which is very rare that happen, but you have some type of loophole or some type of glitch, and sure, but there's so many false narratives these people put out about Game Pass, it's ridiculous. And this is exactly how I feel as well. It's the Netflix model, and people love that. It's just when there's like 50 of them, when it becomes an issue, like the movie industry is facing. Can't deny I've sometimes heard of buying some games because of the possibility of them eventually coming to Game Pass. I could never see myself doing that. If it's a game I really want to play, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I bought that almost day one because that game looks so interesting to me. I could never see myself waiting for a game to come to Game Pass. That has to be a game I really didn't care about at all, like that. To be honest, it would be like a game I'm probably like on my hype level at like a 0 to 10. Probably be like a level of 3 to a 4. Like I just like really didn't care about the game whatsoever for me to care. But for you to care, like, is it going to go to Game Pass or not? So if it's a game I really want, I'm gonna buy it as soon as possible. So I guess you say, hey, I guess you got one person who says they wait for games to go to Game Pass. Okay, I am on the buying game side, but also there's cheap ass games like Call of Duty, FIFA, Battlefield, and the kind that cut content just to make DLC like Final Fantasy. Don't deserve our money and should be in Game Pass. Example, Battlefield make only multiplayer but charges full price. Okay. And this is why Hellblade 2 looks like a 20 million budget game. I don't get it. Is that a bad thing? Is that a low budget? I'm assuming it's like a low budget, you're trying to say. I guess. I don't know. I mean, whatever they're doing, that game looks amazing. So I don't know. I'm not really sure if this is an insult or not. I'm not really sure, but Hellblade 2 looks really good. So I don't know what he's getting at. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Xbox is the parasite, lol. So he's referring to Sony's group debt. According to the Sony's group most recent financial statement as reported on June 22nd, 2021, total debt is $2.9 trillion with 730. I don't care how much. I don't care about how much money these companies are making, to be honest. Every company in existence is in debt. Look at Netflix; they're billions in debt and still pump money into shows and movies. Someone needs to take a business 101 class. Yeah, I don't care about how much money these people are making. What is this? I don't even know what they're insinuating with that picture right there. I speak not to prove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak of what I do know. There's been at least 3 indie games around $20 I never have heard of or have not been for Game Pass. I tried them for half an hour or so, then paid full price for it on my Xbox or Switch. Whatever they're up to seems to be working, as even Sony has finally committed to a similar model. Beyond this, as a gamer, I do believe that Game Pass is a key factor in all the good faith that Phil Spencer tried to create after the Matrix fiasco. No one is saying it's bad to buy games. Everyone is saying it's a great deal. With all the devs saying it works out for them seems like a fake outrage. I don't know why people are hanging onto this. Game Pass is great. Yeah, I'm gonna include it right here. This video is getting kind of long. I could probably go on forever about this video, about this post in general, because it's so ridiculous. But I'm gonna include it right here to make this shorter. But yeah, I don't get what this person's talking about. It's like they're like legit angry that that Game Pass exists. Just doesn't make any sense to me. None of this stuff makes any sense to me whatsoever. I think this is just more nonsense as usual. It's not surprising. This person usually posts nonsense about Xbox on a daily basis at this point. But definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.